Empowering voices, building worlds. The Ampliverse.
Welcome to the Autistic Delicatessen.
What you eat, what you drink, is your story.
So when you eat with awareness, you want to eat what you already think you are.
When they're looking at history, looking at our food, there's just so much to bring people together.
Come get this love. Come get this love.
Today's guests are Mike and Sheila Coyne from Red, White Brew. Located in Rhode Island, the family-owned coffee shop promotes inclusion by hiring those with developmental disabilities. As well as selling coffee, they also provide pastries and even calzones. As a small business, they have the great support for the community and they are also willing to give back. They aim to serve inclusion in every cup. Mike and Sheila, welcome to the Autistic Delicatessen. It's great having you guys here.
Good morning. It's nice to be here.
How's it going?
How did the Red, White Brew start? Tell us your story.
So we started the brew because I couldn't get a job. Applied at a restaurant for 4 years and got nothing. And then we realized that even though many people in this community can't get jobs, they still have other things they can do.
Do you mean like your community?
Yeah, the DD community.
Is the autism community. A lot of
my friends can't get jobs.
well, sadly, people with disabilities, the unemployment rate is 80%. And that's a sad statistic, but it was also a statistic that we were not aware of. Michael aged and grew and we supported him, and never in 1,000 years did we imagine Michael would have trouble finding employment. He's bright, he's funny, he's kind, he loves with his whole heart, he has skills. Never saw that coming. So
I could be a jabbermouth sometimes.
he can go around, but can't we all? So when he applied for the position at the restaurant that he had interned with for well over a year and did the job fine, he weighed out, what were you weighing out? Like
Cheese, broccoli,
rice?
I don't think rice.
No, just so he was doing portioning for the restaurant, well within his skill set. There was never any complaints. So we were very, very surprised when
everybody at the restaurant loved me. Like I followed every rule there was. Followed all the requirements, like
right up on your food safe stuff. And so we didn't think he would not get employed. So that was like our first realization that, oh my goodness, that 80% statistic just hit our family. And we were trying to find employment. You know, some people, I think they're like, what we find with people with disabilities is, those people can't work. That is not true. Michael is kicking it every day. So we finally decided if Michael cannot find employment,
build our own empire.
Build our own empire.
That's a good way to say that.
That's how the brew kind of, it was a huge leap for us because Michael's dad and I, we had full-time jobs. We weren't sure how we were going to make that work, but we knew for Michael's future, for mental health, for social reasons, there's a host of reasons why we all do employment, right? It's not just to pay the bills. It makes us feel better. It gives us an identity. So we decided to take all our money and put it into a business and hope for the best. And when I tell you that was our best decision, right?
Yep. We opened in November of 2019. So literally just before COVID hit. So we were closed during that for 3 months.
We were open from November to mid-March.
Yep.
And then everything shut down.
Wasn't happy.
How
many times was I like, we need to open,
I know. Well, you miss working. I
miss my customers. Like we've had customers that we've had since the beginning. And like I made like friendships with them, bonds with them.
So supportive. That the community around us here in Rhode Island has been over the moon, like supportive. We couldn't do it without our regular customers. Because we've had bumps along the way, right? We never owned a store or a restaurant or anything. So a lot to learn, a lot of regulations, Department of Health stuff, licensing, taxes.
Thank God my dad works in Department of Health.
Yeah, so but just a lot to learn. But we did
made
it. We had
growth.
to go when you open a business, you have to go in front of the town council and plead your case there, and grace of God, everything worked out. Had to close over that summer, kind of, because we knew that we had to reopen, but Michael also has some health, his lungs aren't great. So we didn't want to just jump back into COVID. Well, my lungs are even worse than that. Yeah, my lungs are worse. So we retrofitted the business. We put up, the plexiglass so that we could do it safely. But he really missed working, and I think that's one of the things that gets lost on people. It's not that those with disabilities don't want to work. You got to give them a shot. So we've really been lucky with that. We opened back up, and we're slowly, COVID came back over the winter. We've made some, we got
Adjustments.
COVID, so we were closed for a couple of weeks, but
Wasn't happy.
wasn't happy
Oh,
again.
no.
But
And I think
that's-
it's
yeah,
through,
that's-
Special
wow.
Olympics.
yeah, but you know what? It's not always, you can't always be happy. That's
Nope.
just the way it goes. So, that's Michael's quick story. But it's, while I'm happy how things have gone for Michael, part of me still feels like how sad in this day and age that someone with autism working is a story.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I mean, things are getting better, but there's so much misunderstanding when it comes to autistic people. And a lot of autistic people, whether it's a job or not, they want something to do. And
Right.
I'm the same. That's why I'm doing all these projects. It gives me something to do. Otherwise, I'm just sitting going, what do I do? I just can't do nothing. I need to do something,
You need it for your brain needs it. Your
Definitely,
brain,
it needs
your
the
neurons,
stimulation.
yes, the neurons need to move. There is no,
Totally.
I don't know about you, but we talk about a lot of behaviors that autistic people with autism have. I don't necessarily think it's behaviors. I think when you don't let people live to their full potential, what we then see is frustration and anger and sadness and disappointment and depression. I don't personally, I don't know how, you all feel, but I don't think it's a behavior. I think it's how you make somebody feel on the inside. And that's what you end up seeing. Because everybody matters. We all want the same things. We want employment. We want relationships. We want friends. We want to, be able to go out into the world, and we're all treated the same. I would give both my arms if I could make that happen. But I think if we each do, if we each do our little part, I think we are moving the needle. I do. But it just, in some ways, it's sad that that's still a story, right?
Yeah, because really it's just more about what a person can be able to do. And like we were talking about, just the whole thing about seeing a person's potential and what skill levels they can bring to the job, so that's something that always needs to be remembered. Now, I want to switch gears and I want to talk about Michael's blend, which is one of the signature coffee stuff that you have there. So Sheila or Michael, can you talk to us a little bit about Michael's
You
blend?
talk about that.
So we're looking for a company that could make us a nice blend. Someone from A&E Coffee come in, and he was like, "Oh, I can make you guys a nice roast and all that."
Met Michael, just came in. We had a million moving pieces. Yeah, go grab one. We're trying to try out a few different roasters in the area, and this guy came in, knew Michael's story, hit it off with Michael like they had known each other for years. There was no that I don't know if you get this, but oh, little Michael has a disability. Poor Michael. Do you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
wasn't that at all.
there's no
It wasn't.
infantilization. It's just treating him as human and they click.
The same. Like they were on the same level. I mean, here's a, CEO of a company came in, walked up to the register and treated Michael like everybody else. So my heart was already like, oh my God, I love this guy. Next thing you know, I said, sure, we'd love to try your coffee. They're right over the line in Nashua, New Hampshire.
They
So
used to be in Amherst.
it's less than an hour away. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's kind of backwards, right?
No, it
But
looks good.
it's Michael's Blend. So next thing you know, we get a box in from the roaster. And around here, it's like Christmas every time a package comes in. It's like, oh, Michael opens it and there we do. We open it up. They had done the labels. It said Michael's Blend. Now I loved it right away before I tried it.
Because it actually looks very professionsional right there. I
It's
have to say.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. We have customers that come in now, not because of Michael's story, but because they love the coffee.
That's
We
good.
have actually customers that, we have people who have worked for like Dunkin' Donuts, basically any coffee shop you can think of that's like a chain.
Well, it's
They
too,
come in.
it's a difference too, because the beans are organic. And what happens is they roast the beans on a Monday and we get them delivered on a Thursday.
That's
So
really
it's,
good.
I had never had a coffee that was like literally like fresh off the vine. I don't even know if it grows on vines, but you know what I mean? It's like, it was delicious.
Yeah.
So that's how Michael's Blend.
Came.
And it's so cool because I don't know if you can read the small print, but underneath it says smooth and rich.
Yeah.
And he just liked being like smooth and rich.
Gotta throw that in there. Just being like smooth and rich right there. Yeah.
Right? You gotta be anything. Those are two good words.
You really
So
are.
that was just another connection we made. John still comes into the coffee shop. He's from Rhode Island originally. And it's that part of the business has been fantastic. The friendships that we have made have been. Michael's birthday was tell your story. I mean cards and presents and
Oh, it's insane. Like my birthday is the day before Christmas Eve. So I'm on the 23rd.
Christmas Eve.
And it's crazy because like we'll have customers. Like, let me show you one of the gifts I got.
Customers came in with presents and cards, and we're really showing that everyone has value. And it doesn't matter the labels we give one another. It doesn't matter your diagnosis. At the end of the day, it's those friendships that you make. And that's made it all worth it. Oh, here's one of your presents.
So I'm a Saints fan. Whoever, it's no offense if you don't guys like them, but one of our customers got me a Go Saints tumbler.
Nice. That's
It's good.
awesome.
Looks good. Yeah.
It is good. And it shows that, to me, this is like super personal. You have to know Michael. You have to have talked with Michael. You have to have listened to know that he is a Saints fan. So,
because we had one kid in we also work for the Developmental Disability Council. So we put on a business class. So it used to be at CWE in Providence. And then we moved to,
we were at another place in Cranston. We needed more space. That's how popular the classes were. Because self-employment is a great opportunity for a lot of people with disabilities because they can't go out and find typical wage jobs because no one's giving them a chance. So when we opened the coffee shop, Michael went through these classes and we soon realized that
there's a ton of people very similar to my story that cannot do certain things, like they can't get jobs.
Or maybe it's not for them.
Right.
Maybe they don't want to, maybe they have trouble communicating, maybe it's anxiety, maybe whatever the reason. Some people like to work at home, make their products and sell.
One girl in our store, sweetest girl you would ever meet, and she makes greeting cards.
So what we ended up doing was we realized that, okay, the coffee shop worked for Michael. He's killing it. But he had a lot of friends that were making products and then had nowhere to sell. So around here in the summer, we have farmers markets and stuff, outdoor markets, which is nice and is a great opportunity. But then once the cold weather hit, profits dried up. There was no way for them to sell items. So attached to the Red, White, and Brew is our store called the Budding Violet. I don't know if you guys looked that up. We have a website, we're on Instagram, and it's Michael's friends that have made products that are now for sale in the store. So he's going to grab a few items to let you see. What I love about it is we have some vendors with disabilities. We have some that have none. When a customer comes in the store and is browsing for a gift, there's no differentiating between someone with a disability and someone not. It really truly levels that playing field. That's my mission statement, right? Let's make everybody, one of our girls, she makes these, she weaves the fabric and then makes
Like cats out of them.
super cute. If you don't love that,
And then the cool thing is they each have a name and their own story.
yep. So she puts in, like, this guy's name is Teddy, and she writes just a little like bio about him. Really nice.
This is one of the cards from Katie.
This is Michael's friend Katie. Made him this card. It's a 3D card, and it
TV,
moves because he was on like a lot of
news stations.
our friend Katie. She's wonderful. Katie has Down syndrome. So that's nice. And this is Rachel. I hope I'm not oversharing, but Rachel has autism and she's a phenomenal artist. So she sells her prints here. Our friend Brian, also with a disability, he's a photographer.
That's pretty
So-
cool. I do like that, like the whole local community adding extra things together, and also anyone's included, as you say, include. You always promote inclusion, so it doesn't matter if you're disabled or not disabled, or you're just a person. And I love the homemade stuff that all the people made, and I love that. I love seeing things like that in shops. I've been to a few coffee shops that like collaborate with either local people or local businesses, and they sell their stuff as well. It's just amazing because I do love coffee as well, but I also love tea. I mean, I write a tea blog as well, so
We also have tea.
And isn't
Hey,
it nice to sip on your tea while shopping?
definitely. What kind of teas do you sell in your store?
Well,
Oh,
we're
wow.
we're trying to find a good tea wholesaler. Right now, we just use this. I think their Stash is the brand. So it's just Stash. It's not great. It's not like a loose leaf tea, but we do like 8 varieties of it. But when
This
you,
is one of the flavors.
yeah, I don't know if you ever seen this brand.
I've not. I assume it's an American
Yeah.
brand.
I mean, it's good. It's a little bit above like a Lipton. I don't know if you have like a Lipton, but
I'm not going to talk about Lipton, but I'm familiar with them.
Yeah, for me, like let's just say me and my co-host have different opinions about Lipton. So yeah.
and how funny I would bring that up, right? So Lipton was a favorite of our grandmothers. Well, my grandmother. So that's what when I tell you we have the store Budding Violet, my grandparents were named Bud and we called her Vi, but it was short for Violet. So we combined their two names, Bud and Vi, and made the Budding Violet. She loved Lipton. So that's like a staple in our house. Like, my grandmother loved it. But Lipton's not for everybody.
I noticed that Lipton's kind of like the Tetley of the UK. It's like your bog standard, your standard tea that everyone has in their houses. So it makes
Right.
sense.
Right. But now here's the funny part, right? So we go and we buy this upgraded tea. It's a little more expensive. And right hand to God, we have customers that come in and say they just want a good old fashioned Lipton tea. So
Yeah. It's
so,
the same
like-
here. It's like we just want a normal cup of tea. We don't want these fancy ones. And it's just like, oh, okay, we'll just give you the normal then. I'll have the good stuff.
Right. And then we have tried a little bit of A&E, who does our coffee, also does tea leaves. So we have, over the summer, we do more with it because we can also do an iced tea.
Yeah.
And like some of them, they brew like pink or like a little bit of a purple based on like the different flowers and stuff they use. So, but that's our tea story.
Yeah, because I like iced tea when it's sweetened though,
Oh, yes. A good old fashioned Southern iced tea.
Oh yeah, like because for me, like I live in
Sweet tea.
Florida, so like I would have like those sweetened iced tea stuff, and I really like those. I know you have calzones at your a coffee shop too as well, so I just want to ask, like, what are your favorite calzones, as well as like what is your favorite like coffees that you like to make or have specialty made stuff like they're like, do you have any specials or something like that for your calzones?
So
or
every month we have a latte of the month. So like this month it's called the Polar Bear. So it's a peppermint white chocolate. And then February's is Lover's Leap, which is a raspberry one. So we have pretty much one for each month. I know the Polar Bear really isn't like a holiday one, but normally it's meant for each holiday of the month. So like the Lover's Leap for Valentine's, Mother May I for Mother's Day. So
What's the March one? I'm Irish, so I like
Who's
I
Your
like this.
Patty?
Who's your patty?
And then we have
A playoff. Who's your daddy?
Yeah.
that one's one of my favorites. It's a raspberry white chocolate.
Is the what Lover's Leap?
No, Who's Your Daddy? So our calzones we also get from an Italian bakery that we wholesale some things from. There's
Calzones are excellent.
Yeah, I have two favorites. One we kept, one we nixed because it wasn't really selling. One was a barbecue chicken calzone. That one was one of my favorites. Then we have a pepperoni and cheese one.
Buffalo chicken one I like.
They sound good.
Oh, like my co-host likes pizza. They also make their own pizza swirls and all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I do actually.
Nice.
I don't do much cooking, but when I have inspiration, I make stuff. But I'm not much of a cook. I used to be scared of touching anything in the kitchen. But those calzones sound amazing. Recently, I had.
If you want some
calzone with
advice,
banana. What's that?
get an air fryer.
Air fryer. I'll keep that in mind. Maybe my partner might be interested.
It's so we just Michael just got one for Christmas. Everyone has an air fryer, it seemed. We didn't.
My brother has one. He would bring it down when we would need it.
So sometimes you're just gonna make like a frozen something or other right from the freezer, right? Like an Elio's pizza or a bagel
And
bites.
they come out delicious.
When you put them in, because we used to just microwave a bagel bite, but when you put it in the air fryer, they're like
Crispier.
bubbly and crispy. So
Yeah, I've had some air fryer foods though. It's just like there's something different about
French
rather than just having
fries,
it be baked, or fried or something like that. It's just a different feeling and different taste to it. So yeah.
It's pretty much baked and fried together.
Best combo, to be fair.
Yeah, I know.
but it's better for you. Like you don't really
Oil.
add oils and stuff. So, I mean, who doesn't like fried food? But you can't fry everything, right? I mean, we'd be like, yeah, we're already like pushing the envelope. So too much more fried food would be.
That would be something right there though, So
Right.
So people can find your store, your coffee shop online, right? As well as the
Yep.
Budded Violet. Like, can they
You
find
could
online?
look us up on it's funny sometimes because you can look us up on Google.
Our Instagram is Red White Brew for you, right?
So if you look up Red, White, and Brew Coffee House at redwhiteandbrew.com.
So that's your
Yeah.
Facebook name. Red White Brew RI is Facebook. Red White Brew for you is his Instagram. We have a website, buddingviolet.com. Is it just at Budding Violet? That's
It
our
just-
Instagram?
yeah.
Budding Violet. So we did a lot of chit chat, but do you have any other questions? He does still do Special Olympics, loves that.
Love it.
Um,
Sometimes.
Yeah.
well,
I only have one event I absolutely hate: track and field. That's the only event I do not like.
the other thing is our bodies weren't doing as much work during the pandemic. So when he got back into special
So
events,
normally I do 4 events, but I next day doing track and field, so I'm doing 3: golf, bowling, and basketball.
but I mean, you're not as in good of shape as you were. The pandemic, there was
Yeah,
a lot
the
of sitting
pandemic-
around. There was a
yeah.
lot of,
Pandemic hit some of my teammates pretty hard.
We'd love to chat with you all day, but
so
Pleasure.
great pleasure.
Meet you guys and talk with you guys.
it's great having you two as guests.
Thank you for watching the Autistic Delicatessen here on the Ampliverse. If you want anything more about this show, please go on to theautisticdelicatessen.carrd.co or theampliverse.com/the-autistic-delicatessen.
And if you enjoyed the series and want to watch more content, please subscribe for future episodes. And if you like the audio podcast, please look into it in other platforms such as Spotify, Google, or iTunes.
And until next time,
What you eat, what you drink is your story.